Okay. I saw this late last week, and it really upset me. Because, sure, they look like real guns. You can buy an M16. You can buy something that looks like an AK-47. You can buy stuff that looks like a Beretta handgun. They shoot little plastic pellets. So they're not even BB guns. It's a little bit bigger pellet than a BB, about, I guess, 3 times the size. I've bought quite a few of these guns to train my 5-year-old daughter and 7-year-old son on marksmanship in the backyard. And the ATF in Cornelius, Oregon, went into one of the local dealers of Airsoft plastic pellet guns that they have no statutory authority, nothing, went in, took the guns from Customs. It turns out Customs called them the toy guns, and are now claiming that they can just basically, outside of law, rule what is a firearm. And we see cases where somebody's got an AR-15 that they bought legal. It has a malfunction, fires 2 or 3 rounds. The shooting range calls the police on them. And in federal court, they say it doesn't matter. Even if you knew, didn't know and it was a legal gun, you're going to prison. So the ATF is harassing lawful gun owners. Now, they're raiding people every day I see in the news. Neighbors will see somebody with a rifle putting it in their car at their house. The police come, they find 5 guns, 1,000 rounds of ammo. There's no law against an arsenal. They call it an arsenal. They take your guns, arrest you without a law. And so we're joined by Brad Martin of Airsoft, and we'll give you his website here specifically from Oregon. But he and his son run this toy store, and these are sold in Walmart. These are sold in Academy. These are sold most hardware stores, hunting supply stores. I mean, this is ridiculous. And for them to say you can cartridge and could build a real gun out of this because it looks like a gun, I mean, it's asinine. I mean, yeah, if you spent 2 or 3 times the money it takes to make to buy a real gun, maybe you could and it'd blow up in your face. So he joins us to talk about all the different facets and angles of this and how this is just being selectively enforced, and even the selective enforcement is just made up. And if this is allowed to stand, it sets an incredibly dangerous precedent, because if they can ban BB guns that shoot plastic BBs, what's going to happen to the deadly Red Ryder? Will it be banned as an assault weapon? So we now speak to our guest, Brad Martin. Brad, break down exactly what happened and all the latest developments for us.
Well, hi there, Mr. Jones. Yeah, this started back in October of '09. We import airsoft toy guns and airsoft equipment to go along with those. And over the last 5 or 6 years, we've had several interventions from Customs where they've taken in the vicinity of about $17,000 worth of product from us. And, I haven't really made a big issue out of it. We just took our licks and kept on keeping on, sort of. But bottom line is, this most recent seizure in October was of 30 gas-powered M4 lookalikes. And these pieces are 100% legitimate. They're designed to fire these 1/4-inch plastic BBs, as you described, and that's their function. Well, when Customs received these, 1 or 2 of their agents looked at and decided that it was above their pay grade to make a call on these things. So they called in the ATF to look at them. So ATF took 1 or more of these things back to their laboratory in Maryland or wherever this thing is, held them for 5 months, and then in early February, after I had mailed some protest letters to the ATF and Customs, I finally get a response back saying that I was not going to get these toy guns back. And they quoted a code, it was code number 922. And it seems that the thing that they're seizing upon is that these toy guns are easily convertible to real steel firearms. So in other words, you're saying anybody with a little bit of effort can take these guns, these toys, and turn them into real guns. And from our perspective, this is just totally absurd.
because they look like real guns.
Yeah. The other day, the port director from Customs in Seattle called all the local TV affiliates in and gave this news conference on air, holding one of our guns and saying that this is a threat to the safety of America, and he labeled them as machine guns. And while he was talking and handling this gun of ours, this toy of ours, he was trying to stick the magazine into the mag well, and he had the magazine turned around backwards. He didn't even know which way the bloody magazine.
We're going to play a clip of this coming up. We're going to play a clip of this coming up. You've got the ATF agent putting on this big hullabaloo, trying to scare everybody to set the precedent to ban something that isn't even a BB gun because it looks scary to them. My God, if this is allowed to stand, this is an incredible new precedent.
Well, it is. It is scary, and this is a David and Goliath scenario where, I could bankrupt myself fighting the federal government and still end up a loser here. But, it's time for us to stir up the pot a little bit and kind of try to put the brakes on this behavior.
We're going to play this video that's up on your website for the PrisonPlanet.tv viewers and radio listeners. Give us your web address for folks that want to follow this case.
Okay, sure. The web address is airsoftoutletnw.com.
So, airsoftoutletnorthwest.com, just NW.
Yeah, just NW, not the Northwest, just NW.
All right, we're going to play one of the myriad of newscasts trying to create a panic over the devilish plastic BB gun that is so scary looking. Here it is.
And welcome, everyone, and good evening. I'm Jeff Gianola.
And I'm Kelly Day. Federal agents seize a ship of toy guns, they say in the wrong hands. They could have actually been deadly.
In this Coin Local 6 exclusive, our reporter Alexis Del Cid talked to the local businessman who ordered these toy guns. And I see you have one there, huh, Alexis?
Jeff, this is an example of one of the toy guns seized. And besides the orange tip, it looks pretty real. But this is an airsoft toy. It shoots plastic BBs. And the man who ordered these says anyone with any knowledge of weapons should be able to figure that out.
No bullets, just plastic BBs. Not a battlefield, just a wooded area made to look like one.
It's another version of paintball.
For the past 7 years, Brad Martin and his son Ben say their family business in Cornelius has steadily grown as simulated combat gaming grows in popularity across the country.
This is the contemporary version of Civil War reenacting.
While they aim for authenticity in every piece of gear, the Martins didn't anticipate a seizure by Customs and ATF agents in Tacoma as their latest shipment of toy guns arrived from Taiwan.
Any kid, any parent, any adult going out of the house with this needs to be ready for trouble.
ATF Special Agent Kelvin Crenshaw says not only is the shipment missing the orange tips required on all imported toy guns,
with minimal work, it could be converted to a machine gun.
To say these are readily convertible to machine guns is absolutely preposterous. The round wouldn't go into the barrel for one, and two, if the firing pin did strike the primer, the gun would basically blow up in your face.
Also, the Martins say there are tens of thousands of replicas just like these sold in America already. The only reason they buy from Taiwan is because it's cheaper. Until now.
He spent all this manpower, tax dollars, and time, and wasted my time, my money, my profitability to seize 30 toy guns. That's what he's done. And he's portrayed himself as a great hero.
But ATF insists that it did the testing and determined that, yes, these can be converted into military-grade weapons. The Martins requested to see the documentation of that, and they were told that they'd have to file a Freedom of Information request with ATF. Now, as for the orange tips, this one has one. The ones that came in from Taiwan didn't. But the Martins say that's happened before with their shipments from Taiwan, and they just had to go up to Tacoma and paint the tips orange themselves. So they wonder why this is being made into an issue now. Alexis Del Cid, Coin Local 6.
Okay, and we have Brad Martin online with us. So you've got an ATF officer in a fancy suit who can't even put the cartridge in it. He can't put the magazine in it. Shoots little bitty round plastic BBs. that look like they're even smaller than .22 caliber. There's no room for a cartridge to go in. There's no room for propellant. It uses air to shoot plastic BBs. And what's really happening, I saw this 5 years ago or so in England, where they're trying to ban these over there. They don't like the gun culture growing because this is a gateway to real firearms. People are finding out how much fun it is to target shoot or to dress up in gear and go to the equivalent of paintball ranges. I run around with my children in the backyard and shoot targets and shoot tin cans. And you learn how to be a good marksman. Then they graduate to BB guns. Then they graduate to real firearms. And this is incredible. This is lawlessness. And you told me off air that you've talked to other ATF branches, and they're like, we can't believe this happened. These aren't real firearms. We don't have a statutory authority.